Freaks. Freaks is a very unique and unusual film from 1932, Tod Browning. I first saw it in 1970 when we were setting up the Orson Welles Cinema in Cambridge, Massachusetts, one of the first revival houses. And I saw it on the big screen. And all I'd known about it was the still, and I'd known it was a cult film and it was a phenomenon. Everybody wanted to see it. We're talking about it. That's why we ran it. And it immediately appealed to the counterculture because it was about outsiders being dumped on by the authority, by any authority, by the authority, the powers that be. And it was very important to the counterculture, and it was very moving, and the humanity, it was just so deep, and the truth was just so bright. Freaks is a strange film for MGM to release in the 30s, even a strange film for Tod Browning after Dracula, because it dealt with really specific mutations, human mutations that were unpalatable for people at the time. They couldn't look at the truth, and so it got pulled. And that film, along with the other films from 1931 and 32, were and most definitely the reason for the Brain Office of the censorship movie code was enforced from that point on. During the Depression era, people were obsessed with survival, and they didn't want to see films like Freaks. Films like Freaks freaked them out. Because they didn't want to see the truth. They wanted to see Busby Berkeley, They wanted to see we're in the money, because they weren't. And that really, they're being blinded to the truth, was part of the whole socio-cultural machinery that was oppressing the poor and the disenfranchised and led to the rise of fascism. And that sort of is what's happening today. The Republican Senate is a good example of that, trying to kill people by taking their medical insurance away.